because the anointing comes through this place, Gethsemane place.
Okay. I want to share our journey. Like, we live in a very isolated place, let's say. You came to our house, you know that. In the spirit too, we were saved in the Pentecostal church. The church we were saved in, the next church was about 60 miles away. It's not like Charlotte where under every stone there's a church. So even if you don't like it, there was no real place to go anywhere else. So there was this thing that was good for us. We didn't have choice. Where, you know, often when you have too much church, anything that upset you, you just cross the street and go on like that. Spend your life as a homeless person. So this was one thing, the Pentecostal church, and it was very legalistic. It was more about submitting to the rule of the house, more than knowing and understanding God personally. So you had the rule, like, you know, every church has its rule and it's okay, but when it's only rule, it's pretty deadly. So, you know, we went there and, you know, we read books on the revival and move of God and men and women of God, and then you look at your life and the church, and there's something missing there. There's something that it's not there. And I remember going to church and coming back home and crying in the afternoon. Sunday was my crying afternoon. Lord, is there anything else? There must be something else. There must be something else. And this lasts for me about 12 years. So there's something about the press that she just shared. If when you're under pressure or under discouragement or on the disillusion, if you don't press in, if you don't stay there, you're gonna miss the move of God. Waiting is a key to receive from God. You know, I was sharing the brother, when Paul defended his ministry, the first thing he mentioned is not miracle, is not resurrection, is patience. So for him, the first quality of an apostle is patience. More than miracle. So I think, and if you want to, let's say, endure the dealing of God, you need to be patient. And it's not really in our culture to be patient. We're more like McDonald's type of church, maybe Burger King. Yeah, if you're not served in 5 minutes, you're just get upset. Okay, this is our journey. Not necessarily everybody have to go through that, but I think we are. I don't know why the Lord chooses us to experience stuff that so we can share with others. The fact that we were isolated, where I was, there was no, like here you have all these teaching and radio and TV and in Quebec, French, Quebec, there's none of that. Most of the book that you store in your house that you don't read, they're not available in French. So this was like a kind of an empty place. And I remember one day this lady came to us and she was like so excited. She came back from a meeting in Kansas City, the Mike Bickle Church. This was in the 90s. And she said, she was talking about John Wimber. You heard of John Wimber? John Wimber is coming to Ottawa, you need to go there. I was like, who is John Wimber? Never heard of him. But she was so excited, I'm like, okay, let's go there. then I go there, and you know, Wimber was like so casual,
Casual.
and you know, it was an arena at the wall. And you know, we were Pentecostal. When you're Pentecostal, during the worship, you have to have your hand like that and your eyes closed. So I'm open my eyes, and this guy is walking in the aisle. I'm thinking it's probably the janitor. So he's walking like this, and the other thing was very offensive. He had like a
Good dressing.
shirt like this and jeans, and he's like walking. As talking about offense, for me it was offensive. Then meeting started. This is John Wimber.
Yeah.
So he started talking, and it was the first time I heard somebody talk. When he started talking, I knew this guy knew God. He was not talking about God. He was not talking about theology. He knew God. This was so clear. It was like, wow. It's sad, but it was the first time I met somebody that knew God. 12 years being Christian. I'm a reader. I read a lot, but this was like, wow. Then he started to prophesy on people, word of knowledge, all kind of miracle happened there, and it was so simple. There was no show off, no nothing. It was like, you know, so we're not used to that. So that at that point, I saw that and I said, this is what I'm crying for. I didn't know what I was kind of looking after, but when I saw that, this is it. And I was at this point where, you know, I don't want a word from God. I want that gift. I want this, that relationship. I want that.
Good.
So this started like a journey for us. So I got saved, radical salvation, when somebody invited me in a meeting, and I went there just to be polite because the guy was helping me in my house. I was zero interest, you know, and just, wow, he's a good guy, I'm gonna go. I met God there, radical. From that day, this is gonna be my life. But right after that, probably a few hours, I got put under religious burden. So I experienced the grace for a few hours, enough to live 12 years through the destructive religious spirit, you know, conform to our way of thinking. So thank God I was able to stay there until I met Wimber. Was really like almost another conversion for me. It was like from there going there, and this started a great time, but at the same time, you know, when you really decide to walk with God, you're in trouble. There's a risk that you're gonna be kicked out of your church, lose your friend.
Second church.
Yeah. I remember I heard this Bob Jones said the only church they didn't kick me out of is the one I'm here now. But you know, sometimes we're kicked out of church because we behave bad. So, so God started this work in me, and it was a journey into the inside. So I would say John called me a mystic this morning.
Not a mystic.
And
Mystic.
yeah, but I think they often go together. I felt at that point when I started that journey, I felt I didn't fit anywhere. Because I felt like, am I crazy or what's going on in my head? Because especially where we were, there was no reference. It was like going and you don't know where you're going. A little bit like, you know, Abraham, you leave and he don't know where he's going. But just this pulse of, I need to go there. I need to find that. And I was blessed I think I was a little extreme into that. My wife came along me, and she was very patient with that, like kind of crazy journey. And one thing I discover is the purpose of God is to change us inside. The fight, it's an inside fight. Often, I pray, Lord, change my environment, give me a better church, a better wife, a better this, and that. Then I'm going to become a better person. But this just don't work. I need to change, and the invasion of God in me is the beginning of the journey. And you need to take more and more room inside of me. And so this is the fight. I would say I won't say never, but really barely fight with the devil in my life. Most of my life was fighting with God because I didn't understand his dealing. So, and most Christians are fighting with God, and they even call him the devil. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. The Holy Spirit said to Jesus, they spend their time rebuking me in your name. What do you think about that? This is what we do, because most of the hard time in our life, it's an answer to our prayer. When I say, Lord, change my heart, you write that down, and you start to work, and then struggle, and fight, and deception, and discouragement, frustration come on the surface. But this is not my wife, it's not the devil, it's God. So, talking about the hearing God, a lot of it is an interior fight with God. Yeah, I would more and more. I think the devil is a small player in that game because I'm so stubborn. He don't have to be there. I myself fight with God. So the devil is probably in the Caribbean in vacation somewhere. At least for me. Then, I start this without any really understanding. I'm not a scholar. I didn't went to Bible school. I kind of learned by experience. But today I can say this was a mystic call of my life. Mystic means interior relationship with God. I understand mystic, sometimes it sounds like bad word, or sometimes it's taken to the extreme. I believe a real mystic is down to earth person that never quit, especially in relationship. So I don't want to be a mystic that live in the mountain away from everybody. I don't think this is a definition of a mystic. This probably me a misfit more than a mystic. So what happened is, then I start to, on a commencé, là.
Ça va faire 5 ans.
In 92, we start in our place a silence meeting. 1 hour of silence. Then, this was in 92, and people around us, they thought we were a cult, crazy people. Why would I go there in a silence meeting? Well, maybe the Lord will speak to you. Why would I want God to speak to me? He may ask me to do stuff I don't want to do. So this is a start. Be quiet and be silent. We still do that. We have once a month 1 hour of silence as a group. And we do not live in a culture that appreciates silence. Most of us, we're allergic to silence. There need to be noise. Whether it's a TV, even if you don't listen to it, the radio, talking, you know. So I think we need to rediscover the silence, because when I shut myself in silence, I open the door for God to speak to me. I open the, I kind of give time for Him to reveal Himself. And so we're more like people of the silence, let's say. I think I would say that. And I'm reading a book. It's funny because I just got a book this last month, and I'm reading that, and it's kind of, the guy is more scholar than me, so he explained what I experienced, and he put that in more organized and clear word. So I love it because it just confirmed to me that this path we took was from God, and it's extraordinary. Now he said the mystic, the Greek word for mystic is M-U-E-O. I won't even try to spell that. And it means close or shut. And you go on and say, close your eyes and shut your mouth. And I'm going to speak to you. So the basic of this journey is these times where I close my eyes, shut my mouth, and wait. And you know, when at first when I do that, I can handle closing my eyes, shutting my mouth. I struggle to shut my mind. But as soon as I close my eyes, shut my mouth, I forget this and this guy. I need to call this guy, and it won't stop. So this is the battlefield, the mind, where let's say if I start to take a moment of silence, the way I did it years ago when I start, I will lay. We have 6 children, 5 in 5 years. So there was a little bit of noise in the house sometimes. So I used to go lay on my bed, put a sound muffler, you say? Headphone, but headphone without sound.
No sound.
No music to shut the noise. Put something on my eyes to shut the light. Okay, light and noise is a distraction. So then, when I settle that, the only thing left is my mind. So, and the other thing is, if myself, like I will lay in the bed and do that. Often I will fall asleep, but there's no problem with me falling asleep. The spirit never sleeps. You know, when you sleep, you dream, and so your spirit never sleeps. Sometimes it's even better when you sleep because your mind, the thinking process stops. And most people when they sleep. So, like I would say to my wife, I take a time with God. Then they hear me snore. Yeah, my father is praying. He's noisy when he's praying. But the thing is, this is the way I did it. I knew a friend used to go in his car. You know, so wherever you find a place, could be in your garage or in the forest, you need to find a place where you're going to be quiet. Try to eliminate everything you can control, like the light, if you can put something in your eyes. Because, let's say, if I close my eyes, I can see there's a light there, even with my eye closed. So, this distracts me. You know, this is how far we are from being in the silence. Any little thing will distract me. So, you eliminate everything you can. Then the mind, I would say if you take, let's say 10 minutes a day in silence, after, depending on who you are, maybe after a month, you're going to be able to shut your mind. So, like, I think about nothing. And really, you know, it's not like when my wife asks me, what do you think? Nothing. But
nothing but.
when I'm with God, this is a real nothing. So when like the light is not there, the sound is not there, and my spirit is clear, suddenly the Lord starts to speak to me, reveal Himself. And like I said, if I lay there, it could be if I sleep, it could be a dream, very sharp, very clear. Usually, what I receive. And the other thing is, when I spend time in His presence is the essence of the transformation of me. Let's say what Julian was talking about, the fruit of the Spirit, come when I'm in His presence. So there's a balance. There's the fruit and there's the gift. Often, especially people that, charismatic people, we're really after the gift. And often, I'm reading a book about, Madame Guillaume. At the end of the book, it's not her, but somebody else, right? Talk about the charismatic movement. It's an incredible display of power and incredible lack of depth. It's like that deep. No character. How many people we know that have incredible gift, and you live the way they live, it's close to zero character. And I believe if we are really going into, let's call that mystic journey, it has to have a transformation in our character.
Amen.
Like, my wife is supposed to see that I spend an hour with Jesus. The way I behave with her. My children, my neighbor, the people in the church. And I love the prophetic, and I love when I pray for people and they heal. But I would say to sustain that, I need to have the character of Christ, the fruit of the Spirit. And in the many circle in charismatic church, the fruit are not there. It's like poor father, poor mother, poor spouse, parent. Where I live, you want to have, if you have a business, you want to have trouble, hire the Christian. This is sad, but it's true. So this is lack of character, and often like that person, you see them prophesy on Sunday morning, you get in the job in the Monday morning, it's like, yeah, what happened between Sunday and Monday? So we need to have this transformation. What I understand, when I spend time in silence, it's almost like, when you die close, put them in you change color, put them in water with the color you want, and get in it, then you're out. If you want red, it's red. If you want blue, it's blue. If I stay in the presence of God, it's like His color impregnate me. More than, let's say, my experience, and I may be wrong with that, but spending time in the presence of God has more impact in my life than any hour I spend listening to a preaching. Because I'm in His presence, and I preach a lot, so I know preaching is good, but it's not like spending time with God. It's nothing. It's like very different level. Then the other thing with that, I try now to avoid the word prayer. I would say I'd rather have a conversation, because sometimes it's, you ever been in a prayer meeting? Yeah? No? Nobody here? No? Yeah. You? Yeah, one person.
Wow.
Yeah. You go in a prayer meeting and record the prayer meeting. This. do that, do
Don't
that.
forget it.
See you later. Bye. And, you know, would you marry a woman or a man that's like that? You know, wake up in the morning, I want this for breakfast, I want that for dinner, I want you to wash my clothes, I want this, I want that, every morning. And then you're supposed to love me. This is what I said. But often it's, for many Christians, their life is like that. So God is, you know, God can cope with that because He's not like me, we're more patient. But this is not a nice relationship. Nice relationship is like, you have anything to say? What can I do to impress you today? To show you my love? It's more about communication. Okay, let's say change the word prayer by conversation. He talk, I talk. And I give him time to talk. It's very important. So the silence is me shut my mouth, like I said, because he has something to say. And I create a time where, Lord, I want to hear from you. You know, I like when I go to you with my grocery list, like, give me this, give me that. But now I more appreciate the time when he talks. And if I can say that, sometimes it sounds weird, I pray less and less. Why I say that? Because, you know, I'd rather have him talk than me. He's much more interesting than me. The other thing is, when more time I spend in his presence, you know, when the Lord said, do not worry, you read that in the scripture? You know, sometimes I think he put that there just for us to feel guilty. No, he put that there because it's available to us. And the thing is, if you spend time in his presence, his nature impregnates you. And the thing is, you get to a place where I don't have to pray for myself. He told me that he will take care of me. And this is what he said, don't be like the pagan. And you ever been in a pagan prayer meeting? You have that in the English Bible when Jesus said, don't be like the pagan that ask and ask and ask. And sometimes we are pagan. You know, the way we pray is what Jesus says, don't be like. So if you spend time with him, you can get to a place like you say, I know he's going to take care of me. So I just free hour of time during the week that I used to pray for myself. Now I can pray for others. Because now I know him, I got close enough to him where I don't have to care about that. Does it make sense? But this comes as I spend more and more time in his presence. I can see, you know, when he's there, I feel like comfort. Is that comfort? So more I spend time with him, I get to a place where I do not worry, really. And I believe if you just do that, the same thing will happen to you. Okay, what are the obstacles for that? When I go in his presence, you know, it's no by accident that he is called the Lord. He's the master of the relationship. So often I want to meet him under my own condition. And this do not work. You know, when Jesus told us to pray, he said, thy will be done. So this means my will is not in the basket. So I need to go before Him and, okay, Lord, what's the condition? What's the agenda today? What are we gonna do? What do you think? So this is a big obstacle. Like I need to meet Him under His condition. I cannot say, Lord, there's my plan, bless it. Well, you can try that. It doesn't work. Yeah, wisdom just stop. Doesn't work. Let Him have the control of the agenda. When He's in control, stuff happens. We don't waste our time. We don't get mad. We don't fight with one another because He's in control. And I don't know about you. Are you tired of fighting with other Christians about silly stuff? If we just align with Him, we cannot step on each other's feet. There's no way. So then we are going to have more unity. We were talking about unity. Unity is, if I'm in Him, I'm in unity. If we are in Him, we're in unity. It's not like if we have unity, we're going to be in Him. No, we're never going to have unity. And we're so too much full of sin and of ourselves. If I go in Him, then I can find you with His agenda. We're going to find ourselves united. Okay. The other obstacle is my brain. My brain. Because I very struggle to stop thinking about mainly silly stuff. Or worry about stuff that will never happen. So this is an obstacle because when I get in His presence and my mind starts to go wild, it's like, you know, the squirrel that drink a Red Bull in the movie. Sometimes like that. My brain is on the Red Bull. So I need to get quiet. In the way we live, especially in North America, we have buried ourselves under so much stuff that this stuff is like, it's like almost a cage around us that prevents us to go through God. And so I would say we need to pray, to ask God help, to downsize our way of life. You know, now they call it simple, voluntary simplicity. You have that? You have that here? No, it's not American.
Simplify your life. Simplify your life.
Yeah. So if I simplify my life, it removes some of the worry I have. And there's a lot of stuff that I have, I don't need it. You know, if there's two of us, we don't need a house with 15 bathrooms. Because it just takes all of our time to clean that. And I don't need like 4 cars, and I don't need this and this and that. You know, I'm happy the Lord give us a house, but when it's too big, and it takes my time, and you know, can I live with $50,000 a year? The answer is yes. Can I earn $300,000 a year? The answer is yes. But when I earn $300,000 a year, my life is there. Because nobody will give me that amount of money if I don't marry them. So this is sometimes, you know, and I understand, especially in North America, we're into this more money and more stuff. But this goes against spending time with God. And for some of us, we need to pray because there's so much stuff that you don't know where to start. And I share that with some of the folks in my church, especially the younger. They want everything before 25. Stuff we have 50 years together, they want to have that in 2 years. Then it chokes them. And there's no room for God. And some of us, maybe it's that. So, you want God? Go for God. So this means that maybe you're going to have to remove some stuff. And it's good. It's good. You know, let's say us, we've been in that thing for many years. That's that we can live with live simple lifestyle. So this give us like 4 or 5 days a week for God. Because we have not buried ourselves and stuff. We still have the house, we have a car, we have, you know, we have children.
People.
You know, you meet somebody and the pastor, Christian, and you're, and this, you say in English, keep up with the Jones. Church, we rearrange this in the front church and put, and this at the end still what. And the other thing is like for some people when I share that they like, yeah, but what about if I spend 80% of my time waiting before God, my 20% will be 10 times more effective. So I would spend time with God. It's true for every aspect of our life. A few years ago, somebody came to us and said, you put your money last week, and years ago we inquired a big gimmick, and they lost all their money. So it wasn't that. And other time it's just association with people. On the back of what we call a French door, he said, this is not from God. Show me, offer you something. Yeah, but the Lord told me not to from that, but I knew the Lord warned me, like, said, don't do that. You spend time with God, you're going to save awful amount of struggle. You know, you have been in a bad relationship, like Christian or friend or business, or if you spend time with God, He will tell you who to get involved with, so you won't waste your time, where you put your money, your time, your energy. He's going to tell you that. So when I spend time with Him, I don't waste my time. I gain. I gain more than I ever going to be able by myself. So it's fair, I would say. And I've been hearing, maybe George, you heard that the next revival is going to be mystical. And I think we saw that last June. I think it was, I don't know, with God, it had to be toward you. On a simple, loving level. Simplicity, God's stuff is always simple. You know, the Lord told me once, He said, I made this simple enough, even you can get it. So the God stuff is not like, oh, I'm here. No. When I spend time with Him, I'm more down to earth than I ever going to be by myself. So when it starts to be too much weird.
Just a quick question. A lot of times when I'm praying, I know I need to hear from God, like you're saying. But the hardest thing I have to do is stop my mind from thinking so I can hear from God.
Yeah.
Because my mind just,
Yeah.
it's like you said, it's going through all.
This is the big battle of the silence. Keep in mind. Okay, like did you arrive late, or were you there when I shared about me laying on the bed? Were you there? Oh, okay. How do you say that? Cover my eyes, not my ears, then wait. Okay, no music, no noise, no nothing. Then if I start to do that, it's gonna take I would say at least a month before my mind start to. So I need to keep doing it, even if at the end of, let's say if I take an hour or 20 minutes, 10 minutes, I need to keep doing it the next day, even if I think I'm wasting my time. My mind is getting just more and more wild as it goes. So, but after a while, you're going to be able to be quiet. The mind is stopped.
Practice and discipline.
Yeah, practice and discipline. Then you can ask God, help me, give me a brainwash or something. Or silence here, serving others.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of force you into silence
It's good.
for 1 hour. And we had one last week,
Last week.
and there was people from France, and a friend from France, they were like talker, like blah, 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 blah. And they said, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to spend an hour in silence. They were almost in panic before it started. And as soon as we started, it closed their eyes, shut their mouth, revelation started to come to them. The other thing, if you're in a group that do that in a disciplined way, the presence of God is already there. So it's easier to get in there because it's like, I don't know, the anointing is there, and let's say it's let's call that the silence anointing. That you enter in there and it's almost like your brain is. And so when we start doing that, at first, we were like every 5 minutes. Last week they were like, "Wow, this went so fast."
1 hour.
1 hour was like 10 minutes. Then what we do is we have had like that during the silence, and we write down what the Lord said. And we share after that, and every time you know that the Lord was there because everybody had the same stuff. So it encouraged us that I can hear from God. A lot of Christians, one of the biggest complaints I have when I travel is I never heard from God. Never heard from God. Even pastor. And I mean, how can you really walk with God if you don't hear His voice? So we need to seek that more than anything else, hearing His voice. And I'm not even talking about prophecy. Prophetic gift is something else. It can, I can draw from the silence to prophesy. But the silence is this place where there's Him and me, and it's like He come in me. And He changed my nature. He changed the way I think. He gave me stuff that I cannot get, like patience. C'est quoi tu disais, mon frère?
Oh, tu dis, the passion is a virtue. Bob Mumford, I read in the book, the passion is a good virtue, c'est ça? And we never, on rencontre jamais, we never meet in the, chez les
Rarement
hommes.
trouvé chez la femme, jamais trouvé chez la femme.
Rarement trouvé chez l'homme. Non, jamais. Rarement trouvé chez la femme, jamais chez l'homme. C'est ça.
Okay, patience is a virtue, rarely find on woman, never find on man. This is just Bob Mumford.
Bob Mumford.
Imagine, she read that to me before I fall asleep. I spend the night repenting. We find that so funny. But this thing, this patience, love, it just come to us. And at the end, I love the gift of the Spirit. I love to prophesy. I really enjoy it. But I love when I becoming a better person. I find out that I have more and more influence on others when I'm a better person. We recognize a tree after its fruit, not its gift. Okay? So the fruit is, and I would say the fruit for me is more, came to me more when I spent time with God than teaching or reading. going to a psychiatric. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we going anywhere? You, yeah. Yeah. Okay. This stuff is simple. Okay. It's no like, don't, when I use the word mystic, don't think it's like we're remote stuff. It's just a loving God wanting to spend time with his beloved. Just simple. I love you, I want to spend time with you. Would you take a little time apart with me? Just that simple. You're never gonna qualify for that. Never gonna be good enough for it. It's not based on that. It's based on he loved me, and I don't know why. It's like I give him every reason in the world to hate me, but he still loves me. I don't know, but more. I need more of that. So it's just simple. So I don't want to leave you with any impression that this is complicated. I understand there's a battle of the mind, but this too is simple in a way. Like, I need to get over it and start thinking about crazy stuff. Like I would say, the other thing is be careful of what you watch. It pollutes your mind. What you listen to. So sometimes if I want to enter that, I need to shut the radio in the car. Maybe if you have TV, maybe try to avoid some stuff. And now with this, the phone is becoming very difficult. One of the big battles of the mind is the internet, because all these images polluting your mind, so it's difficult to quiet. So maybe take a fast of the internet, or I don't know. And I don't want to, for a while we were like, the TV is the devil, you need to take it out. This is not what I'm talking about. Just, okay, Lord, I want to have a better time with you, so I'm going to put that aside for a while. So this is, we have an expression in French. I'm going to try to translate that, okay? Shopping versus grocery. Okay, when we go shopping, we have really nothing, no goal. We just walk in the mall and end up buying stuff we don't need. When I do grocery, I have a list and I go for that list. Okay? So I'd say often if I don't spend time with God, my Christian life is more like I go shopping. I walk. No real purpose. When I spend time with God, He gives me purpose, and I'm like, I have a list. I know why I'm going somewhere. I know what I have a goal, and this is important because I see too many Christians just walking around. You don't know what they're doing, and one of the biggest questions, because let's see. I prophesy to people. One biggest question is, I don't know what the Lord wants from me. What's my calling? I don't know what I was born for. This is very, very, probably one of the biggest questions I have. And even pastor, if I don't know where I'm going, how can I lead others? And in general, it's in many places like that. It could be a work, like why does the Lord allow you to work in that place where you are now? There's a reason. Because, I understand my boss pay me to do a job, but I'm a kingdom person, so I'm there for a purpose greater than get a pay. I'm on a mission. So if and I remember I worked different places in my life, and I never asked for a job. The job always came to me. all my life was like that. And I knew when I go there, I have a mission there. Could be in 3 months, I'm gonna meet somebody, you're gonna pray for him, and he's gonna be healed. Then right after that, the Lord said, okay, this is over. You have a mission somewhere else. I moved this there. Most of my life was like that in my working life. Not that as a pastor I don't work. Even when people in my church, they say, you're the pastor, you don't work. But every time I offer them my job, nobody take it. So you're in a mission. And sometimes it can take you around the world, or it can take you just across the street. You go shopping, you go to the grocery, you go to the garage, you walk in the street. You're on a mission. So if you hear from God, the Lord will tell you, okay, this person in the aisle number 5, go and ask her to pray for. Because I have to take time in silence, I can enter into silence while I'm working, while I'm talking, while I'm preaching. And this is like, often it's like a 1 second thing. I'm there, suddenly I'm there. Because I practice to be in the silence. In the, let's say, quiet place or the presence of God. You can remove yourself from the setup you're in. Okay, and then you're with God. Come back. So, make sense? Then I go out there and there's a woman standing there. And she said, yeah, and she's like getting very emotional. It was her brother, and I go, I'm fed up with that, I just quit. Then I in her life. I'm supposed to go evangelize in the street, and I'm busy with this prophetic stuff, you know. Like, so I'm with him, and we're, you know, the place in the mall, and I said, the next person that sit there is our client. And he's like, yeah. You know. Then the guy, excuse me, sir, I'm a pastor, and we have this homework to do. You got an offer to a promotion at your job, and the Lord said he's with you in that. And the guy turned to me and said, you're no pastor, you're a seer. You had the offer right before lunch, and he was sitting there wondering, should I take that or not? So, you know, this of the silent stick, like, and I'll go in the presence of God in the silence. This thing from heaven for you. And my head is in heaven, my feet are on this, and like this. So if I only have this, something wrong. If I only have this, there's something wrong. I need communion with God, real communion, and it always adds to goods that I can bring down for others. Most of the, like 99.9% of this stuff is never for me. It's for others. So I don't go there for myself. Thing, it's not gonna work. It has to be for others. If it's centered on me, forget it. It's not going to work. So you go before God because you want to display His love to other people. And I don't know about you, but you know, I get very fast short of love with others. You know, when I'm with Him and when you're there, it's easier. Then he told me once. I'm about to. I have a lot of stories, but once the Lord told me, he said, this guy's coming to your church, he's going to cause a lot of trouble, but I want you to receive him and love him. Thank you. This is good news. Yeah, and then I got that, and somebody from Montreal called, this guy is this out, and maybe it's not. 4 years, trouble. At the end, is trying to build a rebellion. So I was not surprised. And how much He's patient with me. So, you know, so it's funny, like Saul's, sometimes the reason to stand somewhere is not, the Lord would say I could move, like I can go in Europe and, you know, spend a lot of, you know, once He led me in the subway of London, I'm leaving to go to England. Before I leave, I said to my wife that the Lord said how much He cared.
How much you care.
Think about that. He provided them with
It's one expensive tissue.
but how much He loved. So I was able to sit by her and the key and say, give it to her. Then this opened the door and I was able to pray with her.
Good job.
For a new job because she was laid out, kicked out of her job, and she's like, you know, and you live in London, it's a nightmare. You rent a room, it's $2,000 a month, and so she was in panic. I was able to pray with her. So if you're connected with God, even when things don't go the way you expect, you can go back in the silent place and say, okay, Lord, why are we here? And then have these testimony of it's for this, for that. And sometimes it's kind of silly because you think, are you sure they don't have the same comfortability we have? Like you spend that big money just for a Kleenex. Yeah, but when you love, you don't care about spending. And the Lord don't care about spending because He loves. So, but this always comes from hearing from Him. You know, I went to a place where the Lord told me that the stock market share, you know, this share was going to go up and stuff like that. You know, these people that are after money. You have a word for me about that? No. It was not about money. It was about the relationship.
You want to take any questions?
Yeah.
Anybody have a question out there about some of this stuff?
Yep.
How long do you start shutting things down, like you put things on your eyes and your ears, and how long does it take you to start hearing what God is telling you?
Let's say after you're over your brain stuff, the minute you're there, it starts.
Okay. So the brain stuff has got to stop first, right?
Yeah, I would say this is a big hindrance because, you know, it's like, let's say you're listening to 4 different radio stations at the same time. You know, God speak, the devil, you, and then your mother-in-law. It's a joke. But all these voice, and suddenly you zoom in, and then this is God. You know.
And how, I mean, I guess we should all know this, but I'm just going to, I want to hear what you have to say. Because how do you know when you hear that voice, it's God? Because will the devil try to slip something in and
Yeah, well, one thing is,
try to tell you something?
let's say when the word self-centered is me, like, you know, if I have a word that you need to give me your car, this is not God. It's me. Okay? Because the Lord will never use the prophetic for personal gain. So I cannot say the Lord showed me I need to go to your house and you're supposed to feed me. When you hear something like that, you know it's not God. So this is like self-centered stuff. And we're pretty good at that. But as more as spending time with God, I'm supposed to die to myself. This is what one of the benefits of spending time with God and God Himself. So the self-centered stuff is fading away. Or if it's still there, you recognize it. That's it. Trying to take advantage of it. I gotta pick it right away. Then the devil is, there's no love in the kingdom of the darkness. So everything that's not in love, the Lord is not gonna tell me that to rebuke somebody. I know in some circles the prophetic is to rebuke others, but I have problem with that. If I say, let's say I expose your sin, you don't need me to expose your sin. You already know you're a sinner. So my thing is extend the hand of God to take you out of sin. So when it's like about, let's say, condemnation or judgment, or sometimes it's me, but most of the time it's the enemy. When it's founded in love, and it's for the advantage of the other person, this will give me a good insight with this probably God. And usually when it's God, it kind of come out from nowhere. It's like, you think about this and boom, this thought come in, kind of surprise you, and the love factor is there. It's about the other person. This is a good sign. Then usually when I have word for people, I question the person. So if I'm wrong, they have room to get out of it. If I say, the Lord showed me you should move to Alaska, there's no room for you to say I don't want to go there. Unless you think, well, if I don't go, I'm going to disobey God. If I say, let's say, I'll give you an example of that. We talked about going to France in the morning. We have a meeting about night, and this is in our place. There's a young woman, very prophetic young woman in our group, and she come to me, she said, I see a flag of France between you and me. Does this mean anything to you? I mean, this was confirmation. We had prayed in the morning, should we go to France? She come up, she didn't know about our prayer. She see the flag of France, so for me it was confirmation. But she came out and said, I see that over you, does it mean anything to you? Or the way, maybe it's something you need to try to remember that. The way you share is more important than what you share. So if it's sharing love, where you don't trap the person, like the Lord showed me you need to do this, or if it's more like a suggestion, like I see that on you, this mean anything to you. If I go in that like that, it gives room to the person, because sometimes, let's say, if I look in the room here, I may have a word for you, I think it's for you, but in fact it's for him. I just missed the target. If I question you, and then you say no, and then you can say, well, I think this is for me. The other thing is often we miss the timing. I can see, let's say, I could say, I see England over you guys. And, and I may, if I pronounce that wrong, I may push them to go to England in the wrong timing. What the brother shared yesterday about him receiving the word, a period of 7 years, I think, then the setup was there for him. So sometimes it's, you give a word and the person will say, I have nothing to do with England. But I said, well, pray about it. Then suddenly, 3 months later, somebody else come up with England, and okay, then maybe 5 years down the road, there's a door open there. We have prophetic word that took us like 12 years, 13 years before we saw them happen. So, but if we are too directional, sometimes it's not good, because we nobody, not one of us can say what I hear and what I share is 100% accurate. This is not. So I may be wrong. So I need to leave you place to say I don't want that, or I don't think it's for me, or I don't see anything in that now. Put it there, and maybe if it's from God. So be careful about the way you share. You need to be sharing love. Sometimes you can have like you see something negative on a person, and often you prophesy the opposite. Give you an example of that. I'm in a meeting and a lady's come in. Well, before me, I see death over her. Death like dying. What's that? The meeting go on and it didn't quit me the whole meeting, and I didn't know what to do with it. So, and she had her children that need a lot of care, so usually she would quit before the end of the meeting because she had to be home earlier. So she started leaving and went, wait. I walked with her in the hallway, and I'm not going to tell her I saw death over you. So I pray for her, I speak life, and I speak healing, and like she's kind of, what's going on with you? What's wrong with you? That very night, her kids, a girl, she is like very sick, lungs, and they took her to the hospital, and the doctor didn't understand why she was not dead.
Yeah.
The next day I go there, and she comes to me, yesterday you saw something over me. What was that? Okay, I told her. I saw that. But you know, I didn't declare that. I declare life. So this sometimes we have, let's say, we call that seeing in the second heaven. You see the plan of the devil, and you need to.
Well, so that I needed to bring the people that were going to come to our church through prayer, and not so much get out there and evangelize. And when I shared it with our pastor, I mean, we were talking about, he was telling me to throw frisbees, to go out there door to door, what everybody else does. But I felt in my heart, and I even told him, I said, I have this pull that God is telling me that I needed to pray for the people that were going to be in our church. And he dismissed me. And he said, no, that's not going to work. You need to go out there and evangelize. And for the last, I don't know how many years we have done, like we're exhausted from trying to evangelize. People come and they don't stay.
No.
But then we also discovered that there's some other stuff that's influencing Charlotte. So now I'm listening to you, and I feel, I want to say guilty. I feel bad because I'm like, oh, I could have listened to God really because he was telling me what to do, 4 or 5 years ago, 4.5 years ago. And we probably would be in a different place right now. But
yeah, I think with your experience show us how much it's important to hear from God. Like I would say my message is hearing God and obeying. Most of what I do is around that, I'm not only preaching on that, but most of it. The thing is, when you're in let's say I'm in the church and somebody else is the leader, the Lord gives me a word. My job is to give him the word. If he don't listen, it's in his hand. So, but myself, if I think this is wrong, I'm not going to be involved into that. They can do it, but not to drag me on stuff the Lord told me not to do. I don't have to bring a rebellion in the church. You understand that? Like, start to say they don't listen to God. No, my job is to give the word, especially if I'm not in the leadership. And sometimes one of the the thing we need to learn if we're prophetic is to deal with rejection. If you've not been really deeply rejected, you cannot have a strong a strong ministry with God. Because we need to learn to walk with God even in the midst of a storm and where everybody's against us, and don't quit. So this is difficult, but I mean, and I know, one of the first prophetic word we had was the Lord said, you have tried everything to bring evangelization in this area, and you had very no result. And the Lord says, why don't you try my way? This was hard because he's telling me that everything I did was not with him. But it was true. But we kept doing what we did during year after that without result. So, the Lord gives you an advice and you say, I'm going to do my thing anyway, so I don't care. Then you wonder why we don't have results. So it's difficult because, I would say, I would not tell you if a church is like that, you quit, because you quit when the Lord tells you to quit. And if they don't want to listen to you, well, it's their right. If, somebody is the leader and say, I don't want to have anything to do with your prophetic gift, well, it's okay. I'm going to stay there until the Lord tells it to move. I'm a very persistent person. It's never about the people, never about the church, it's about God. If He told me to quit, I'm going to quit. So until He told me, and I'm trying to do my best not to cause a rebellion in the church. It could be a lot of the, Paul Cain, the guy. One of the things I heard from him is a prophet is known on the earth for what he said, and he's known in heaven for what he don't say. So a lot of the prophetic stuff we receive is to pray in secret. And sometimes when we try to say it, it just falls in the ground or it blew up in our face. I want to pray for you. I believe I feel like the gift of you has been shut down. And I want to pray for it to be revived.
You don't want to bring them up?
Well, you can stay there. You can stay there. Yeah, you put your hand on your wife. Okay, Lord, I pray for my sister. I pray for, there's other people here. You have experience where you shut yourself from the prophetic. You're there. Brother there. What's his name? Nick?
Nick.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I was writing down what you wrote. What you said.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, Lord, I pray for a restoration of the gifts. Some of the people here, I believe the gift was shut down, some by themselves, because it didn't turn the way they expect, and some of them it's by somebody else. So, Lord, I ask you to reopen the well, the gift of revelation. I don't want to just use prophecy, but let's say intimate communion with God. It's more than just prophecy. This ability to hear your voice and obey that was shut down. Lord, I pray for us to don't retain offense. You see that? Yeah. And Lord, okay, you put your hand like this. Okay? Okay, you say, Lord, I don't want this offense anymore.
So I don't want this offense
I don't
anymore.
want this offense anymore.
I release it to you.
I release it to you.
Okay? Wow. Let's do that again. I just saw it. Okay, Lord, I don't want to retain any offense.
Lord, I don't want to retain any offense.
I release it to
I
you.
release it to you.
Okay, well, yeah.
Amen.
And then we're going to pray something else. Okay, Lord. Lord, put your hand like that. I love when I do that.
Lord,
I don't know. When the Holy Spirit is there, I have these white dots up here in my hand. Look at that. You see that?
Well, say it loud. Say it loud.
When the Holy Spirit is there, I have these white dots that appear in my hand. Again, they're very strong now. I don't know why it's there, but I just noticed that. Okay, you put your hand like that. Okay, Holy Spirit, I want everything you have for me.
I want everything you have for me
Now.
now.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. I like that. This stuff is simple. Offense, I don't like what you said. I don't want to keep that. And Lord, I want to love the gift of the Spirit. I want to love like He loved. You know, like I said, I give Him every reason in the world to hate me. He still loves me. I want to be like that with other people. You know, I want to be the crazy loving guy. I don't know, this guy's weird. He still loves us. I don't understand. I want to be this guy. This is more than giving a prophetic word. Way more power. And when it creates incredible stuff, transformation, deep transformation in the life of people, that there's no way you can explain it, because it's rooted in love. But that love, we don't have that. We're so short in love. It's a shame. We need Him. Spend time with Him. There's no thing you're going to do in your life that would bring more excitement and joy than spending time with God. You have a question?
It's more of a comment, and I just want to thank you. Francisco are toxic with noise, and I just I would love you to pray for our country to release what God has in store in this message to change us so that we can change.
I'm going to France to buy the dead donkey. Donkey is dead. So I'm in the Baptist church. The prophet is not invited in the Baptist church. I get there and I can feel the pastor is not happy about me being there. It's one of his elders that invite me. I kind of noticed that after. So I preach and I just want to get out of there at the end, want to go eat. But I said, well, anybody here need prayer? So some people came and this man pushed his daughter, 13-year-old, toward me. When she get close to me, I start to choke and cry. Couldn't stand it. I had to back up. It was so intense. And I'm not very emotional. So I like that. So we're laughing. This is so emotional, I couldn't stay there. I back up and said, Lord, what's that? And I came back and hit me again. The Lord said, she wants to kill herself. She's been bullied in school. And tell her dad that I'm going to provide the money, then she's going to go in another school, So this girl, instantly, this suicide thing gone. She go back, and I said, the Lord's going to deal with the people that bully you in school. Go back to school, challenge these people. They change. Some of them give their life to the Lord through the prophetic in her, the Baptist girl. Awesome stuff happened. She was at our house last week, and this lady that's in our church, she's on the board of this house that they bring in their troubled teenager. Like, parents that you don't know what to do with your teenager before you kill the kids. There. So this other lady that's in our group, this thing is government. In Quebec, compared to you, is very socialist. Like, you don't talk about God in any. So the lady, she's like, I would like this girl because what she has experienced came out of wanting to kill herself to a CD producer, incredible singer, and full of life. So she said, well, she'd be a good testimony. But she said to us, don't talk too much about God.
God on the teaching.
But the girl, I mean, when God touched you, transform your life, you cannot keep
cannot.
it to yourself. So she go there this last Friday,
Last Wednesday. Yes. Wow.
She's give her testimony, and these bunch of kids that they have an interest in something for about 5 minutes after they're there for an hour, and I mean nobody went smoking, nobody went to the bathroom. At the end, she said to them, "Okay, I'm gonna go in this room there, and if you need time with me, I'm gonna pray with you." So she's in the room there. Kids get in there. First kid come in there and said, "Okay, what do you see on me?" Like
Pressure.
a lot of pressure. I said, "Well, I don't have anything, but I can ask God. So we're gonna pray." So she prayed with these people that have nothing to do, never heard of prayer. We're gonna break in there, and these are no Christian. Even the leader of the silent state. So we were laughing, and the lady in our church, she all freaked out and said, "What are we gonna do if this thing breaks out?" I said, "Well, don't worry, the Lord's gonna take care of it." So just saying what you just share about, if we can enter there and factually prove that there's something in the silence, people will say, "I want that. I want that." And we have that in our place where we have the 1 hour of silence. People coming in, never been in a church, they start to prophesy right there. And very accurate stuff. And we were surprised, like this girl, drug and sex, crazy life. And we pray for one another, and she don't not even have 1 minute of teaching. And she turned to the person next and she started to prophesy on.
Yeah.
And I knew the person, she was right on. She didn't know what was going on. She said, "I never did that before, I don't understand what's going on." This stuff is for even the unbeliever. You don't have to go to Bible school and be a sanctified life. It's for everybody. The Lord wants so much. He loved you, loved these people so much. The millennial, they're gonna go for that. But the Joshua generation, Joshua was the old guy, leading the young guy. So it's no time for us to retard and buy a house by the ocean. It's time for us to be more busy than we ever been before. But we need the goods of heaven. These kids, they're so bright, you're not going to fool them with a false relationship with God. So you need to yourself to have this real relationship. Something happened to me Monday. This young man from college is in our group. His friend brought him, and his friend said to me, "You have a word for him?" I don't like when people do that. I go close to him, and the Lord gave me one word. Give the word to the boy. He was on the verge of crying. One word. One word from God. Create more power and hope than we can build in our own life. Just one word from God.
Amen.
We need to have that. We need to have that. And this stuff, like I said, simple, even you can get it. This is the way the Lord told me. I made this simple. Even you can get it. So don't try to complicate. We have a word, we have a family name in French. It's called Ouimet. Okay? Let's say it's a play on word. In English, we'll translate yes, but. Okay? So don't let the yes, but family destroy your relationship with God. You try to enter in this simple stuff and you start to, yes, but what about this? And what if the devil talked to me? Well, if I pray Jesus, it's not the devil that's going to answer me. So, all of this mystic stuff, well, it's not mystic. It's the loving God wanting to spend time with me. It's that simple. Yes, it's mystic in a way, you know. I go to my doctor and say, what do you do in life? I talk with God. She said, you travel around the world to share about that. It was funny. Okay, silence time, awesome time in your presence, Lord. I pray that, like my sister said, discipline, and what was the other word? There's two words. Practice and discipline. My sister over America, I find that it's easier for me to bring unbeliever into that stuff than old Christian. So maybe if you start, if you don't want to get discouraged, find yourself an unbeliever and will join to that. And finally said, I want that stuff, instead of arguing all the way. Like you do that with unbelievers, it's so funny to see their reaction. You're never gonna qualify for that. It's just out of love. Never gonna be good enough to do that. It's just him. He's so good. He loves you. I love you. I thank you for having me here. I want that so much to spread. I'm tired of Christianity, dead Christianity. And it's so difficult to see that this stuff is so simple, and so many Christians never went there in their whole life. And I don't think we're going to reach the next generation or even the older generation if we're not going there. There's no other way. They're fed up with religion. And us too. So we need to get into His presence. Simple like that. And from that, pull down the stuff from heaven and give it to us. Amen? Bless you. Thank you. Love you.
Hallelujah. Thank you. Amen. You can give it a applause.
Okay, I have maybe found this book recently, and this guy explained much about what I have experienced in my life. Very simple, but deep. Big book of Christian
Mysticism. The big book of Christian mysticism, Essential Guide to Contemplative Spirituality by Carl McColman. McColman, M-C-C-O-L-M.
I love it because it's practical. I minister in Africa and they call me Mr. Practical. I'm practical. I don't want to be in mystic, like out of touch. So this is very practical. Go with what I share with you. It can help you. You can talk as a group and go in that direction. But like I said, you don't have to have a big book. You just spend time with God. He's going to take
Can you spell the last name again, please?
The Carl Mac.
E-O-L.
I've got it.
M-A-N.
Coleman, like the stove. Coleman.
You don't have to take a picture. Notice that.
Okay, so just to let you know that tonight we'll be back here at 7 p.m. And this church's worship team will be ministering tonight. We're going to take an offering for our guest speakers tonight, so if you can consider that and coming back and be ready for that. And God bless you, and we'll see you at 7 p.m. Yeah.
Thank you.
Rejection is essential. Yeah.
What?
What's your contact?
Somebody.
Nick, you're all right.
Yes, you do. But I'm on your left.
All right. Well, it's one thing to forgive, it's another thing to thank you. Yeah, I didn't do that. And you start to reveal these things in the reading.
That was it.
I'm doing my thing, bro. Okay?
I'm slow.
You can do that now. It's no big deal. He's the one who's got to drive.
It's a process, so
No big deal. What is that? Is that a speaker?
No, that's a camera. It's live streaming.
Oh, I would have combed the back of my hair more. If I'd known.